and prove people wrong, no matter what. Show them labels do not dictate who you are, and gotta be Keith Andrew Network.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm your host, Keith Andrew, and the following is brought to you by the Keith Andrew Network. And you're watching Breaking Barriers. Today, we sit down with Tony Cobain. That's right, Tony Cobain is a guest on my talk show. He is known for being an upcoming comedian, filmmaker. That's right. He's in the music business, he's in the production business, and he is an upcoming comedian. You're going to hear more about him in this fantastic episode. Make sure to hit that button on the bottom of the screen. Make sure to like and subscribe to the Keith Andrew Network. And I'll talk to you soon when we come back from this commercial break.
Hey y'all, it's Tony Cobain here. I am here with Keith Andrew. Hey man, thank you for allowing me on your platform. We're about to do this interview. I don't know what he's gonna ask me. I don't know. I hope he's nice. I hope we shall see what he's going to say. Let's go. Let's do it. Why am I'm talking too much. Let's just do the interview. Yeah, let's go. Yeah, I'm ready.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following is brought to you by the Keith Andrew Network. That's right, if you have internet and you have YouTube, you can watch the Keith Andrew Network 24/7. You can watch it on your phone, your computer, your TV, anytime, any place, anywhere. The Keith Andrew Network is available 365 days a year. So that being said, I'm here with my good friend Tony. And welcome to the Keith Andrew Network.
Hey Keith, thank you for having me.
Now the honor's all mine. As people are watching, you already introduced yourself, so we're going to jump right into the interview process. But you did ask me before, Keith, what is the Keith Andrew Network? Whole point of my talk show is to show people that even with having a learning disability, I can still amount to something. And at the same time, I'm able to turn myself into an example for people out there dealing with any types of learning disabilities and disabilities to never give up and prove people wrong. Prove to them that labels do not dictate who you are and who you're going to be. Just prove to them you can still amount to something. And thanks to you, you have helped me reach 1,258 episodes. All that's available on YouTube. The link's on the bottom of the screen. So if you have YouTube, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to the Keith Andrew Network. But this is not about me. This is about my great guests. So the first subject we're going to talk about is icebreakers. Tell our audience a little bit about yourself.
Hey audience, Keith Andrew's audience. My name is Tony Cobain. I am an actor, I'm a comedian, recording artist, man of service, and vegan. I have a creative production company called Tony Cobain Studios, which encompasses all those things I just mentioned: film, comedy, service, music, and veganism. And that pretty much sums me up. I went to Howard University. Started stand-up comedy on September 18, 2008. I was 15 years old. It's been a fun journey thus far, and life is beautiful.
Well, let me ask you, who are some of your favorite comedians that inspired you?
Growing up, I looked at a lot of Eddie Murphy. I used to go to school listening to Raw, like in my EP3. Like I used to go to listening to Raw. So Eddie Murphy. I really love Jim Carrey as a comedic actor. The Wayans Family, Chris Rock, Dave Chappelle, Bernie Mac, Bill Burr, Patrice O'Neal. The list can go on and on. I have so many comedians that I, grew up studying and, just enjoying. some of the, I guess, newer guys like I would watch. I like Ali Sadiq, the guy Josh Johnson. He's a hilarious storyteller. So those are those are the ones I watch.
Well, I have to give a shout out to George Collin and Dennis Leary.
Uh, North Carlin, yes, yes, yes.
He
I
is
forget about you.
he is one of the greats, and
Yes,
I like Dennis Leary too, but he's a better actor than comedian, to be honest.
yeah, yeah.
So the next one I want to ask you is, what attracted you to begin your career?
So around that time, I was 14 and 15 years old. I used to play sports, and I used to play basketball and baseball. I grew up one. I had a stage era in my life. I wanted to be like Kobe Bryant. And around 14 years old, I was like, yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen. I didn't make the basketball teams in like middle school, and so after school, like, I wanted to do something extracurricular, because an idle mind is a devil's playground. So I used to go to the libraries after school a lot, and get a lot of books. And at the time, the library had like DVDs you can check out. I used to check them out and not bring them back sometimes. But it's a lot of DVDs. I remember I would get Fun with Dick and Jane, the one with Jim Carrey. Um, what's the Will Smith movie? I Am Legend. A couple of Adam Sandler movies. A lot of like old Eddie Murphy movies. So I would watch all these old movies, and I was like, how do these guys do this? How can I wanted I like how can I make movies? How can I be a movie star? So I looked, one common denominator amongst all the people I was watching. I see like 90% of them, they started in stand-up comedy, from Martin Lawrence, the Wayans family, Keenan Ivory Wayans, Damon Wayans, Jim Carrey, Adam Sandler, Chris Rock. Will Smith didn't start in stand up, but most of them started in stand up. A lot of people, Michael Keaton started in stand up. So I would watch all these guys. So I thought I had to do stand up in order to be an actor. So it pretty much started with me just not having to do anything after school, and then trying to figure out how to be an actor. But we all have certain things we are innately good at, and just being, apparently I'm a funny person. Like, my personality is funny. I use jokes as a coping mechanism for stress, and you know comedy is just something natural that just comes to me. I just had to like learn how to like go on stage and do a set.
No, I agree. One thing I've always told, and one thing I do is wrestle with myself, but not in that way, obviously. One thing I do wrestle with myself about is you are your own biggest enemy. So you
Yes.
just tune out whatever, what your family, your friends, your colleagues, tune out all that noise. As long as you're happy and you enjoy what you're doing, you're on the right track. Once you start listening to the negativity, and that's where it adds to it. Maybe they're right. Maybe I'm setting myself up for failure, but you have the courage, and I have the courage to say, well, look at it like this. When you think of Jimmy Fallon and Jimmy Kimmel and shit, why can I think of his name? Lisa
Ethan
Debate.
Colbert.
Yes, thank you. And if you think of them, they don't have, well, they don't come out and say it, but they don't have disability. So I'm like, okay, everyone thinks of the oxymoron of having the stereotypes, and that's the next one I want to talk to you about. And, it's having stereotypes. You never think of a disabled person being a comedian, or a disabled person being a stand-up or talk show host. So it's always good to shatter the glass ceiling. Now, how I'm going to direct this to you. If everything that you accomplish, have you overcome stereotypes and have you shattered that glass ceiling?
You know, uh, and this is, I think this would equate to the purpose of your show. There were stereotypes that I had to overcome. Um, like I said, I wanted to be a serious actor. I studied theater. I studied Shakespeare and dramas. But when I started doing stand-up comedy and when I got to Howard University, I started doing my web series that I would do, my comedy web series. When I wanted to pivot to do other things, people didn't take me serious at all. I wanted to do serious acting. I decided to do music, but people didn't at first. It didn't. People didn't take me serious. It took a while. It took a while for people to take me serious. Actually, a few years. Because I never liked the idea of a box. Being put in a box. If you have abilities to do something, you got to share them. So if you're a comedian, um, it's okay to pivot and do other things if you're capable of doing them. So that was one thing I struggled with. People just wanted me to be the funny person.
No, you're absolutely right. And I do like how you going for the Hulk Hogan look. I do appreciate that.
I didn't even notice. you
Are,
said you said dress professional. And I was like, oh snap! Let me just throw on something. You said I can. I was like, I can do it now. And he said, oh, here's the link. And I was like, oh shoot, let me just throw something on. I don't have on pants. There we go.
well, it isn't that type of show, so keep it above. But with that being said, that's a good segue. Tonight, available on Netflix, is WWE Monday Night Raw. Are you into professional wrestling?
That's so funny that you bring that up. That's so funny. So I was big into wrestling as a child, as a little kid. I don't looking back on it now, I was like, how did my parents let me watch this stuff? Like, the DX, Suck It, and The Rock. The guy, Mr. Ass. There was a guy named Mr. Ass, and I think I had his action figure. But I watched wrestling from like 1998 until 2006. That's when I really, really watched it. I think I may have, just lost interest in it. But recently, I've been watching a lot of the old clips from like the Attitude Era and the Monday Night Wars era. Well, that was the Attitude Era, but the WCW versus WWF, WWE era with the NWO and the Click and DX, and I'm just like, oh wow! Like watching it as an adult is it's really interesting. As the Gen Zers say, DX has so much aura.
No, but the one thing I want to say is it's not the fact that it's PG because you went from PG from the 80s to early 90s to PG 13, 14 to middle fingers and no F-bombs, but there's like certain other things. And then you go back to PG. It's not that it's PG that it hurts the product. It's the accent and the storytelling because my problem with Monday Night Raw is you have 3 hours. You can have hour one for the women,
Mm-hmm.
hour two, you can have to bring back the cruiserweights or focus on the tag team division, even though that's another subject I want to talk about. But freaking TKO, it's like carving the shit out of WWE because they just care about money and firing people. But you have 3 hours. Make it a variety show. So well, WCW was 3 hours, but you had the cruiserweights. You had multiple belts where you didn't focus on the heavyweight. Like, okay, tonight's main event will be for the tag titles. The main event will be for the cruiserweight. Or you can see other people like Eddie Guerrero,
Yes.
Chris Benoit before he had a nervous breakdown.
Yeah.
I used to be a fan of him. Now he can go fuck himself.
Yeah, that's horrible, horrible situation.
But there's so many things that you could have done. But let me ask you, how do you feel about WWE and TKO releasing people to save more money? It's because it's not about the money.
So I'm not quite familiar with TKO. That's a new wrestling division.
Well, TKO and WWE and UFC merged together.
Oh,
And
wow.
then so their parent company is TKO and they changed the name to something else.
Okay.
So TKO is now releasing people like the New Day, Kobe Kingston and Xavier Woods. They said to him, either you take a 50% pay cut or
Hmm.
we're letting you go.
Wow.
So they fired a lot of people.
Oh man. So how do I feel about that?
Yeah.
I think that's why I stopped watching wrestling, to be honest. I think that's why I stopped because it it just became I don't know, too censored, too commercial, too corporate. I think when I watched it, I think that was like, the last best up until like the attitude era, then like the ruthless aggression
And that
era.
was the best one.
Yeah, the ruthless aggression era was amazing as well. I stopped at like the end of the ruthless aggression era. Um, but just watching the old, uh, it may be more money in it now, but it doesn't seem as authentic. We know it's not authentic, but back then it seemed more intriguing than what it is now.
Now you have freaking advertisements on the table and the
Oh
ring. It's
wow,
like, we get it.
like
You like
NASCAR.
swim? Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was saying like NASCAR with the advertisement.
Yeah, now you have like freaking a swim gym and they pulled out a table and had swim gym on it.
Oh
Now they're
wow.
like, oh, he's pulling out the swim gym table. Why can't you just call it a table? We get it. You can put it on the screen. Those big glamorous sets that you used to have. They're fantastic. The most wonderful, fantastic sets. And I'm doing a horrible impression, just trying to make you laugh. But those big sets that they used to have, they shrunk it down just because they want more people in an arena.
Huh.
But if the wrestling sucks and the storytelling's horrible, it doesn't matter how much money you're making off merchandise or the freaking popcorn stand. If you can't get people interested in your product, what are you doing? That's why AEW, it's more catering to the old school wrestling.
Mm. Yeah, I did hear about AEW that, and a lot of WWE guys have gone to AEW. Like, I believe like Jeff Hardy and isn't Shawn Michaels like
No, he's on NXT.
okay.
It's more like Jet Jarrett, Kenny Omega, MJF.
Okay, I'm not familiar with them.
Well, I would definitely recommend AEW, but the next one I want to talk to you about is how has COVID impacted your career and your life? And do you see life in a different point of view?
COVID, yeah, it definitely, things are more, virtual as we're doing this virtual Zoom in interview. But COVID, we're really 5 to 6 years out of it now. So everything is going more to in-person live events. People are getting, people have adapted and are comfortable around people again. But me personally, I like being to myself. I don't like, it kind of COVID helped me appreciate solace and solitude and it's funny, I was talking with someone yesterday about this, and I was like, I think every year during the second week of no, the middle part of March when COVID first hit, I think everything should shut down for 1 week so we can commemorate COVID and everybody that passed away and just have that time to reset and reflect because it was definitely a horrible time, but it did allow a lot of us to like reflect on life and appreciate it more.
No, you're absolutely right. And here on the Key Fans Network, we encourage people to get vaccinated, either against COVID or the flu. And hopefully, we don't have a repeat of another freaking pandemic
Hope not.
with the Hunter virus going around.
Oh yeah, that new thing, man. Let's hope not.
Oh, yeah, knock on wood.
Yeah,
You know,
I'm having.
personally, I'm against cruises because you always hear like horror stories. Oh, a cruise
Mhm.
ship fell over or
Oh
it
yeah.
sunk. Someone got sick. What's your opinion? Would you ever go on a cruise?
Um, I don't think that's for me. Like my dad and his wife, they go on a they actually just went on a cruise maybe I think a month ago. They go on cruises a lot, and he always asks me and my sisters like, "Hey, do you want to go to cruise?" And I'm like, I just don't want to be in water, just sitting there in the middle of water. Like, I'm a land guy. I ain't no shark. I ain't no whale or fish. I'm a land person. Like I like to walk. I'm a I can't get to a Whole Foods or 7-Eleven in the middle of the ocean. Like,
Hey, after you watch Poseidon, you probably would never go in the water ever again.
oh man.
So the next one I want to ask you, because you mentioned you are a stand-up comedian now, and I would love to work with you if that's ever
oh,
a possibility.
oh, cool. Yeah.
So the next subject I want to talk to you about is AI. How
Oh,
do you feel as a, if everything that you accomplished in your career, how do you feel that AI's impacting it?
so AI is a good thing and a bad thing. I think in the creative process, AI shouldn't be utilized. For filmmaking, um, music, comedy. I think the creativity part should be on the human because the human will add the soul to it, will add the personality, will add the blood, sweat, and tears. AI is a robot, it can't do that. AI is beneficial when it comes to stuff like admin. I utilize AI for like admin stuff. Like, if I need a talent release form drafted up with my logo on it, that I use, it's great for admin stuff, but as far as like creativity, I keep that to the humans. Keep that to the humans. Skynet.
No, you're right. I'm guilty of using AI for fun, just for fun.
Yeah,
Now,
I'm guilty of that too. I do play around and use it for fun, like just for fun, fun, you know, fun stupid stuff.
for my younger audience, for people like my niece who's 12 years old, she may or may not be into the whole talk show aspect, but I cater to the younger audience who are a fan of Dumbo or Jumbo Buck or like voiceovers or just stupid videos to help pass the time.
Uh-huh.
So the Key Fans Network, it's more like the entertainment aspect.
Uh-huh.
But when you have AI saying, taking your face or my face and having a robot do that, it's like one of my favorite applications. So give a shout out to Character AI. It's available on Apple. and Google. And you can pay for it if you want. You don't have to, but otherwise it's free. So character AI, you can talk to Optimus Prime or Megatron or my favorite Dragon Ball that Take to the Grave was made. You can talk to Dragon Ball or any wrestlers, and it's fun. Now, where you cross the line with the application, with anything with AI, it's if someone took my face or your face and say, hey, we talked to Tony or we talked to Keith, and this is what he said, then you're using someone's likeness without their permission, and that's where people start abusing the AI because AI is meant to be for fun, not for someone to take advantage of it.
Yeah, I agree.
So the next one I want to ask you is what is so actually there's two of them I want to ask you. What is some of your favorite TV shows that you like on streaming? Or do you like DVDs more than streaming?
Nah, I'm a streamer. I'm a streamer guy. I'm a streamer guy. Anything Marvel, anything the Marvel TV series. I just finished. Daredevil just ended a couple of weeks ago, so anything Marvel. The Boys. I like the Boys that just ended. I just said Marvel, but the Spider-Man Noir. Comes out on Prime. I think today. I have a big palette of what I consume. I love thrillers, horror, comedy, rom-coms. Um, I like a lot. I like a lot. Like Stranger Things.
Well, the Godzilla, so I haven't heard any reviews about it, but if you have Apple TV,
What?
Monarch is
Hey, are
out.
you spying on me? I swear, I was just looking through Apple TV and I just saw that the Monarchs, the Godzilla, and wow, because I never look on Apple TV. I never look on Apple TV. I was actually looking on Apple TV for the Martin Scorsese documentary, but I didn't find it. But I saw the Godzilla one that looks really interesting.
No, it's really good. It takes place in between the movies.
Okay,
So I would recommend watching the first season because that takes place during the first movie.
okay.
But the other one I want to ask you is one subject I do want to bring back for the show is Song of the Day. Who is your favorite rock band or music band, and what is a song of today that you listen to?
Hmm. So it's two songs. The first song is my song, Cherries Blossom, the first song. And the second song is the first. So I just discovered this song about a month ago. I would hear the commercials as like a kid, but I just heard the song in full. The Sheryl Crow song. Why can't I think of it right now?
Don't worry, I have that effect on
I
people.
wanna soak up the sun. It's random, I know, but that's the song I've been listening to. Sheryl Crow. I want to soak up the sun. It just makes me feel good. It just makes me wanna uh get a little red Corvette, drive down the country road, sip some lemonade, and do fun activities,
I
want
might
to run on the beach and and run on the beach in slow motion, you know, and
we
spin
should make a
around in the rain
video.
for no reason.
That would be a
Yeah,
good
so
music
those are two
video.
songs. Those are two songs I've been listening to. But my Apple playlist is historic. I got everything on my Apple playlist. I got everything from Latin music to rock, hip hop, new stuff, jazz. I got pretty much everything. Another song I've been listening to. Um, Bon Jovi, "Want It Dead or Alive."
That's a good
That's
one.
That one. What else?
I actually listened to some anti-war music songs, and I'm like, oh, I really like this song, like Eve of Destruction.
Okay.
Why am I? But I'm forgetting a couple of other ones, but they're really good. And my dad says to me, "You're missing this point. You know what this is about anti-war. Yeah, but I like the beat. I like the
Yeah.
lyrics."
And another song too. Steve Miller Band. Steve. Why am I drawing so many blanks? Seal remade it. I was familiar with the Seal version. I was in Georgia like last August, and I heard the original, which was Steve Miller Band. I'm hearing it in my head. Do 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 da da do do do
Oh,
do.
it sounds from. I believe
Fly
like
like an wait gone.
that's from
Time
Space
keep on
Jam.
ticking, ticking into the future. That song.
Isn't that R. Kelly? Or isn't
Oh,
that?
oh no, no, it's Steve Miller Band.
Uh, I heard
The,
that song before. I think it was in Space Jam.
yes, Seal remade it in the '90s, but the original is Steve Miller Band. Times keep on ticking into the future. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, I love that song. I was born in the early '90s, but I listened to music from all time. I'm listening to. If you drove next to my car and you hear the music, you would think I'm a 75-year-old man. I'll be listening to Marvin Gaye, The Temptations, um, Blue Oyster Cult. I be listening to a lot of different music.
Well, one real fast, and then we can wrap up the show. I do want to talk to you off the air. Do you
Okay.
think music today sucks? That's why people use old school music?
Yeah, yeah. With my music, I sample a lot. I sample a lot. Um, it's really there's a lot of great music today. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of great music. But with AI now, a lot of people are using AI, which is no good. Um, um, People aren't trained musically anymore. People aren't musically inclined. There aren't groups that are harmonizing. There aren't bands. There aren't a lot of bands, people playing instruments. So people aren't that musically inclined. For example, the Motown era, you had to be an amazing artist to compete with Stevie Wonder, Jackson 5, Marvin Gaye. You had that was the level. Now like the bar is so much further, but it's a lot of great artists. There's a lot of great artists out there now. I wouldn't say music sucks today because there's a lot of it's the thing is and it's with movies and comedy and everything as well. It's so much content, it's so
Right.
much to consume that it just takes a little longer to find what's great, like myself.
No, absolutely. Now, I do have a couple questions for you off the air, but I want you to be brutally honest.
Yes.
When I first approached you to be a guest on my talk show, what made you say yes, and how do you feel now?
First, I had no idea what the hell was going on. I thought it was a robot page, to be honest. I was like, "Who in the hell is this person?" I thought you were a fake page. And then when I clicked on your page, I was like, "Oh, New York comedian. Okay, he's not a. I don't think he's a fake page." Then when you introduced yourself and told me about your cause and why you do it, it to take it back to the beginning. Um, the company I have, Tony Cobain Studios, there are five pillars: film, music, comedy, service, and veganism. So a part of my service pillar is my Laughter is Life organization. And I like the fact that you're doing this to give back. That's something that, I love to do as well, is to be, try to use my art and platform to shine light on positive things and try to uplift individuals because we got too much too much craziness in the world. A lot of people are going through a lot of things in life. Um, so I just say when I see people in life, like it could be someone at a gas station or something, I just like be kind to them because you don't know what people are carrying with them. They could be, stressed. So like, I just like to just try to make people feel good about themselves, you know.
No, absolutely. We are definitely going to do a part two. This will be shared on Wednesday, as
Okay.
brand new episodes will be aired on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
Okay,
I
cool.
do have a couple questions for you, but the first 3 minutes of this episode will be shared later on today.
Okay.
But wrapping up, it was a real honor and privilege having you as a
Likewise,
guest.
my friend.
I hope I made a good impression on you.
A terrific impression. Thank you.
And if you could recommend anyone or know anyone who would like to be a guest, you're more than welcome to.
Okay, cool.
With that being said, stay tuned for Off the Air. But until we meet again, I catch you later. Thank you and have a good night.